All right, so we got that guy from Hood River who's been stalking me since Hood River. He's been stalking me over a year and a half. Over a year and a half. Boy, oh boy, am I glad I've got stalkers. Now, Mike Reeves assaulted a 14-year-old girl in front of me and at least half a dozen other people. It's not just me who saw this happen. Mike Reeves has been harassing Eli, going up to him using some of the same tactics that I've been telling you about for years. Pretending you got a warrant as an excuse to harass you, making sure to do it in public as much as possible, trying to make someone out to be a monster. Pretty fucked up. All right. Ooh. That's easy. I told one of them youngins, he was asking me why it is that I don't get much sleep, and I explained to him how loud they are every night. Doing that whole cruising across the parking lot, revving up their vehicles as much as possible, hooting and hollering and making the girls squeal. So I explained to that gentleman, and last night, none of those kids, not a single one of them was parked in this parking lot. None of them. They all parked over at the parking lot next to me. So, yeah, them youngins, despite the fact that they're loud-mouthed little shitheads, well, you know what? So were you when you were that age. So was I when I was that age. But at least they were respectful enough to let me get some sleep last night. I did get a decent quantity of sleep last night, which is pretty fucking rare. Anyway, I gotta go try to panhandle up enough to pay off $25 worth of a fine. Situation with Mike Reeves. I've tried to turn him in on several occasions to his own department. I get that whole, oh, you talk to their superiors bullshit. It's not just talking to their superiors. See, when you go to try to turn in these officers after they've pulled the bullshit that they pulled on me, and they also pulled it on Eli, well, when you got to run around and explain, hey, I went to the police, I followed the protocol they told me to follow, and then I come in here and you tell me, oh, well, nobody made any reports, so you don't know anything about it because you have to go through the police, and the police didn't do their jobs, right? But you don't care that the police didn't do their jobs. You just care that you don't have that paperwork in front of you that the cops should have done. Well, the cops didn't do their jobs on any of the occasions that I went to them with crimes against me. It's because cops are all crooks. You're not going to find a cop that isn't, especially not in a town like Tillamook. Notice I said a town like Tillamook. That's because there are literally thousands of towns in America just as fucked up as this goddamn shithole. People don't care about right and wrong. They care about profits and power. Alright, I'm almost ready to cruise down to the panhandling area. Anyway, that old feller going after Shayna the way that he did. Like all predators, he tries to separate the victim from her support network and her safety before trying to feed her drugs and or alcohol to take advantage of her. You goddamn right I speak out. Who wouldn't? Well, most of you wouldn't. We all have to be afraid of deputies like Mike Reeves. All of us. When Mike Reeves decided that he was going to harass Eli just a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, I believe, maybe 4, that's the problem with turning it in right away. It needs to be turned in right away, but the police aren't going to let you turn it in right away. They're going to make you run around in a bunch of goddamn circles. They're going to tell you things that are incorrect. When Mike Reeves pulled up at the Safeway in October of last year and assaulted that little girl, Eli was there. I was there. Both of us spoke up. The problem is we didn't do so together. I'm not trying to make fun of Eli by saying this. He seems nerdy enough, maybe not as nerdy as me, but nerdy enough to be the target of police bullshit. If there's a crime committed in this town, Deputy Reeves feels that he can harass Eli in public and diminish his reputation the way mine has been damaged. They just try to insinuate because he's not good looking and popular and 6 foot tall and rich that he must be a pedophile, he must be a rapist, he must be, well, any number of things that make it socially acceptable to hate someone, right? Deputy Reeves pulled up, got out of his vehicle, and started yelling at Eli. Yelling that Eli had a warrant, he needed to stop. And that officer kept up his shitty goddamn attitude because his back was to me. As they were conversing with Eli, and the officers realized that they had a Sean David Schwartz holding a camera like this. Deputy Reeves already knows he was busted once assaulting a 14-year-old girl on camera. What are the chances that me pulling out my phone and pointing it at the son of a bitch is what got him to stop yelling? Well, it did get him to stop yelling. It absolutely did. As soon as those officers saw me there with my camera, they made sure to lower their goddamn voices and talk a little more civil. Eli pointed it out that it was only Deputy Mike Reeves who was doing that. There were 2 deputies there, but Mike Reeves was the one doing the talking and doing the bullying. And this time he fucked up. See, the other times he was fucking with Eli, he was able to get Eli by himself. And this time, he did so with another officer. But, much like the situation with Officer Lotham, who wanted to pull up crooked and be a douchebag and fucking harass me repeatedly, it's magically okay, isn't it? Officer Reeves intentionally approached that young man in a way that he could try to make that young man look like he was doing something wrong to the public, so the people will eyeball him after that situation. And that does happen frequently and often. By the way, I know some of the youngins here do watch my channel, so thank y'all for letting me get some sleep last night. I know I try not to complain at you too much about it, because I was young once, and y'all are young, and, well, especially in a small town, youngins do need a place where they can fucking vent, blow off some goddamn steam. And if they got the money for a mudding pickup, well, that helps to burn off steam as well. As far as protecting Eli, that I'm not able to do. I'm not his mom or his dad. I don't live with him. I'm not with him 24/7. That makes it difficult to keep him safe. He's also a victim of the same officers that I am here. He's a victim of that very same officer, Officer Reeves. The one people keep telling me, oh, well, Officer Reeves is a good cop. And then immediately they follow up with a story about how he committed felonies. Well, if Deputy Reeves is committing felonies, how good of a cop is he? Some of these people are adults now, telling me stories about Officer Reeves from when they were not adults. Well, the fact that they were kids at the time that a lot of these crimes were committed makes him a felon. It means that the activities that he engaged in are felonies. going down. I have to pull out whatever's underfoot as soon as I find a place where I can pull over. The speed limit here is 35, and I think I'm going maybe 25. Spent a lot of money to get help. You're going to spend on average about $200 in 5 days of your life in order to get $50 worth of services. Just keep that in mind. The money that's supposed to be used to help disabled homeless people get the fuck up off the streets. That money's going to who? It's not going to us. It's therapists who don't do a goddamn thing to help us. When we're abused and we have to go talk to those pieces of shit, they don't do their fucking jobs. So why do you keep sending us to those places alone? They're not going to even try doing their jobs. They won't even try. When it comes to Officer Mike Reeves, he's not the only piece of shit in his department. Matter of fact, he's one of a great many crooked cops in this county. What do you expect? It's a small town. Popularity is what matters. Unfortunately, in big cities, popularity is what matters. Now, let's hope that my stalker doesn't show up today. But, well, kind of like when I told him I didn't want him calling me the N-word, he started calling me the N-word every time. He does the same thing here. I ask him to leave me alone. He's going to use that as an excuse to harass me more. God bless America and all that, right? Anyway, I'm sorry if this video is hard to follow. I woke up this morning. I looked out my passenger window. I looked as if there was a police vehicle parked there at the bank. I went, well, I better start the fucking video. I got the video started and I looked up, expecting possibility of one of them cops coming knocking on my window and telling me that I'm not pretty enough to be there, not female enough to be there, not rich enough to be there, not something enough to be there. Of course, when I do start recording on my camera like that, I make it pretty goddamn obvious I'm recording. By the way, fuck the police, especially Officer Mike Reeves. Sorry, Deputy Mike Reeves. Although Lotham has been a much bigger problem for me, the fact is that I can't go to the police because of the situations with Lothman, with Lotham, with Olson. I can't go to the sheriff's department because of situations like Mike Reeves. You don't go hurting little kids like that. That ain't okay. Anyway, let's see if I can find the sign on my fly today. People don't stop to listen to understand. Any autistic person who looked at my conditions would be able to immediately realize what the fuck kind of a goddamn problem I'm dealing with. August 27th. Anyway, they got this thing. They wanted me to pay off my fine, $25, August 28th. That's tomorrow. So, yeah, I got till tomorrow to come up with $25. As long as I don't spend any money, I should be okay, right? Anyway, it's Sunday, so probably around 11 or so is when people start getting out of church, depending on the church, between 11 and noon. Those are usually the ones that kick down more than $1 or $2 at a time. I am gonna state for the record that, again, yesterday it was Hispanic folks and foreign folks that took care of me. Same thing with the day before. The people who got me the food that I have, they're both Americans, but their parents are from Russia and Ukraine. The first person to give me money yesterday, a man who barely spoke English, had a real thick accent, came up and gave me $2. And you might not think that $2 is much money at all, because it's not. But when you're fucking hungry, you goddamn right that $2 is a lot. That $2 is a fucking corn dog. That $2 is nutrients in liquid form. That $2 is the possibility of not becoming severely dehydrated. Fuck, this is the worst way to smoke tobacco, I swear to dog. Yep. Definitely the worst way to smoke a cigarette. I was half expecting to cough a lung up. Let's try that again. Yep. God, I am not in the greatest physical shape. And I fucking hate alfalfa. I'm not sure if any of y'all have allergies and horses, Well, that was kind of what it was like living in Chapel, Nebraska, and low income. There was a field on the south end of town when I was younger, and all they ever grew there was alfalfa, and I'm allergic to alfalfa. So I'd spend most of the year, or most of the summer months at least, fucking all clogged up and nastified and hacking and gagging and spitting and sputtering and uh, it's definitely not something I would consider fun. I always wanted to get a job working with horses. It's probably a good job, good idea, or a good thing that I never did, just because I'm so allergic to the alfalfa. All right, fuck that. Fuck coughing up a lung for tobacco. It doesn't get me stoned. It doesn't do anything for my physical pain. Fucking Farvignugan. uh, There's a good idea here in Oregon. But that idea doesn't work in the midst of such overwhelming corruption. If you're harmed by Officer Reeves, it's not just Officer Reeves you're up against. It is all law enforcement. Uh, well, apparently the Estados Unidos here in Oregon, we got a lot of stuff going on. The oldest human bones in the United States were found in Oregon just recently. Of course, what's that got to do with Mike Reeves and assaulting little girls who are trying to turn in their predators? See, this is how it is. You tell on your predator when you're a child. Your predator gets away with it because the cops, in most occasions, give you a choice between staying there with your predator or going to juvie. With Mary Jane, they'd already decided what they were going to do with her. That lady from TFCC come and stood next to my vehicle and had a conversation with Mary Jane's mother and stepfather about how they were going to have her committed on suicide watch. She wasn't trying to commit suicide. The cops showed up and antagonized the situation, antagonized her, and antagonized her friends. Her friends stood around for an hour before they had to leave and go home. Her friends were there to help support her and to help her to turn in her stepdad. According to Eli, Officer Mike Reeves is also that 14-year-old girl's uncle. So now he's using his personal position for family vendettas. Is that what this is? He, as an officer, should be allowed to assault 14-year-old girls and intimidate the witnesses. It's called witness tampering. And it's something the police have done since day one with me. The cops wanted me to be a killer because who would have spoken up about cops nearly the entirety of my adult life? And the cops fucking know it. Of course they don't want to help me. I don't have money. I'm not good looking. I'm not female. I'm not rich. I don't have any of the American qualities that Americans give a shit about. Looks and money. Looks and money. Washington State's volcanoes or earthquakes are connected to Oregon's volcanoes. Huh. I'd think that Washington State's earthquakes would be because of Washington State's volcanoes. That's something none of y'all want to look at, is it? The whole West Coast. From Baja all the way to Vancouver. There's a bunch of fucking volcanoes. That entire fault line, the entire San Andreas fault line, is one long goddamn volcano. You got one tectonic plate being pushed underneath another tectonic plate, creating a lot of pressure. That's a lot of mass, all in one place, all getting pushed together. They're getting pushed together with so much force that it's pushing one mantlet down underneath the other and melting that shit all the way along the fault line. We've got two of the volcanoes that are up by Hood River. They haven't been volcanoes since well before the United States was a country. They haven't been active volcanoes since before the first human stepped foot in the United States. Over 18,000 years ago. 18,000. We used to get told that there's a land bridge between Asia and North America from 10,000 years ago, and that's the only possible way people could have gotten over here. I can't agree with that. Alright, let's go get my goddamn coffee, right? Let's see if we're at 20% yet. 19. 19% battery. Alright, let's get in there, get my fucking coffee. I'll come out here and grab my sign and do me some flying. Hopefully I'll make 25 bucks to pay off that bill. None of that shit would have happened if these cops had done their goddamn jobs to begin with. But when they refuse to do their jobs, it creates a trust issue. When police officers create a trust issue, you got to have a friend or family member go in with you right away, not 6 months down the road. See, that's the thing about literally everybody who claimed that they would help me. Not one of them took it serious because not one of them tried calling it in with me. No, I had to beg them over and over again. I had to beg them to care, beg them to, and beg them to take a fucking look. God bless America and all that. I think it's probably too early in the morning for Miss Cynthia. However, that's alright. There's another lady here who's also super nice to me. And I want to believe that she wouldn't just watch if something happened. And her name's Krista. She's very cool. She's got 2 sisters as well, and a mom, and I know all of them. I know them all from the First United Methodist, no, from the First Christian Church. Y'all are consistent. Thank you for existing.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
Didn't go well, but that's okay. Sean?
There. How come he gets to be a star?
Yeah.
We know which buttons to press on all of you.
Sorry, I got a game for you at home. It's black over town.
Woohoo!
Yeah, you'll blend in. It's okay. No one will notice.
Are you saying I'm green? According to Kermit the Frog, it's not easy. Oh my God, you want money?
Yeah. 285.
Alright, well, I may not be good looking enough to paper stuff with my face, but George Washington
Yeah.
and his 2 brothers, apparently, they are definitely good looking enough.
Yeah.
God bless America!
Here you go.
There's-
We'll give you your share of sugar too.
Deal! Oh wait, does that mean I'm co-owner of the company? I'm getting shares?
Yes. I got this here. There you go.
I don't want that one. It looks like there's
We
one
have to do this occasionally.
drip in that cup that is out of place. And as a result, I demand a whole new one. Matter of fact, just pour out the whole pot because I have to have a fresh one. Don't. Not on my behalf. Poor Rover.
Yeah. Some of the
Oh, I chugged grounds, and I've been grounded before. Everybody used that little machine there, the pour over machine. Every time I see that, I go, pour over. I'm gonna get everybody addicted to that and get that stuck in all y'all's noggins, and it's gonna go through your head every time you do a pour over. Yeah, but French press doesn't have a dog's name in it. I'll be right with you. Whereas pour over does. I just realized that my 146-pound posterior was just taking up 300 pounds worth of space at the counter. Primarily, that's my mouth, so it's mostly hot air taking up 300 pounds of space.
It's fine. We got there.
I may be small, but I identify as a bouncer. Drop a piano.
Yeah.
All right, well, next time I'm identifying as an anvil then.
Probably think about it. Something a little bit tougher. Alright.
So what's the stuff with the electric ceiling foam on?
The what?
The electrical ceiling foam? Explain. Not to me anyway.
I'm not a really big the cold foam. I just weird. It's hard to get behind. I don't know. I don't see
Texture.
of it, I guess.
For me, it's the texture and the weirdness of the chai flavor at the aftertaste.
Yeah. I do really like the smell of the chai though.
That I can handle. And sometimes pumpkin spice, I can handle the smell of it. I just can't handle the flavor.
Yeah, it's a little too much. But I do like, I really like pumpkin pie and stuff like that. It's just not there, not like really thick. That's just the way it looks.
I was addicted to pecan pie, and then I got teeth yanked out and couldn't eat it anymore.
I love pecan pie.
Now I'm addicted to pumpkin pie. But I'm an October baby, so I'm supposed to be addicted to pumpkin anyway, I guess.
There. November, so.
I'll forgive you. We can't all be perfect, but you're close.
Yeah, sure. What day? October
18th.
the 18th. Okay. One of my close friends is birthday. I'm the 14th of November, so.
My sister's is October 14th.
Nice.
So she's just short of 2 years younger than me.
I don't remember how old my sister is.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I know.
I can tell you all of my siblings' friends. You know, you can piss them off if you do this. You can piss them off if you do this. And the shiny red button right there is for implosion mode.
That's what they paid attention to.
Especially a lot of doctors in the 90s fought hard for us to have rights and for us to be recognized as human beings. And then Autism Speaks in 2005 was formed. And they just started basically telling a whole bunch of wives' tales that we'd already discredited. All right, well, I'm going to chug this real quick. I'm going to hide around the corner here where I can peek at you through the little glass thing. I'll creep for like. I'll be back for my refill in just a few minutes.
Works for me.
No, you work for me.
That's true.
Keeping up. An open mind and a positive attitude. A lot of y'all don't see it that way, which is fine by me. You just show the example. And thank you for that. You show that the only things Americans listen to anymore is violence. On the bright side, I'm pretty funny. I'm pretty witty too. I had a few people tell me about this Tomlinson girl. Man, you should get on stage with her and you two just make fun of each other. Go back and forth for an hour. Shit, dude, everybody die laughing. She is not quite on my intellectual level. She is not quite as witty as me, but she is very quick. Quick-witted. Of course, she is also in a bit better element than I am. She's famous for being funny. I'm infamous for sticking up for myself and others. On the bright side, at least I'm not Officer Reeves.